Hi, welcome back to another video. Whether you're playing Bloody Mary or just looking for ghosts, mirrors can be really creepy. Today, I'm going to show you how to make three different kinds of mirrors: a regular mirror, a black mirror, and mirrors with ghosts in them. If you're like me and you think that mirrors are really creepy, then you might like my new podcast. It's called The Other Side of Strange. I'll put a link down in the description, but in the newest episode, we talk about the creepiness of mirrors, and we might even play a little bit of Bloody Mary using the mirrors we make in this video. But other than mirrors, that podcast will cover all kinds of things about the unexplained: ghosts, hauntings, urban legends, aliens and UFOs, Bigfoot, you name it, we're going to cover it. So check it out if that's a thing that interests you. All three of these mirrors start with just picture frames that have glass in them. I even grabbed some from the dollar store. You just want to make sure that they say they've got a glass pane in there. Plastic will work, but not as good. So first thing, we're going to take everything out of the frame, take the glass out, and if you found some old frames like mine, the glass is probably dirty. So we'll mix a little bit of denatured alcohol with some warm water and just clean that glass off. It does a great job of cleaning it with no streaks. The key to all of this is this Krylon looking glass paint. I don't know about any other brand, but this stuff works great. The key is, though, you've got to shake it a lot. First off, we're going to make a regular silver mirror, but we want to make it look old, so we need a spray bottle filled with water. We'll start off with a light dusting of water, and then a very fine dusting of paint. Keeping the layers thin, they dry very quickly, and we'll let them dry, maybe squirt a little bit of water every once in a while between layers, and then spray a little bit more. The sprayed water creates areas where the paint doesn't stick as well. You'll see these little blisters on the back, and this creates some spottiness on the surface to make it look really old. Now, when you think that you've got enough layers, you can kind of pick it up, and you'll see here I can still see right through it. It would probably work, but I want to do some more layers until it's fully solid, like this. And you'll see it's just dull on the back, but if we flip it over, we've got a mirror finish, and you can kind of see that dusty, dirty, bumpy look. That makes the surface look really old, like an old mercury mirror from the 1800s. That's what spraying the water brings to this. Now we just flip the mirror over, put it back into its frame, put the back on, and you have a silver mirror that looks very old. Now let's make a black mirror. Same thing, we're gonna use glass. I'm gonna spray it with flat chalkboard paint. And you'll just keep doing thin layers until it's completely covered. It's that simple. Now, I've seen some tutorials to say to use glossy black, but you don't want that. You want flat black. The reflection comes from the glass, not from the paint. You can see that it's quite reflective. It's that easy. Just put it back into the frame, and you've got a black obsidian mirror. You can use it for scrying or just for a cool, creepy look. For this next one, we're going to put a creepy face of a ghost into the mirror. So I started by creating these pictures in Photoshop and printing them out on white paper. I cut the paper down to the 8x10 size to fit in these dollar store frames. And the first step is to put one or two light coats of the silver looking glass paint onto the glass, covering the whole glass. Now, once that's dry, you need to decide where the pictures are going to sit when they're turned onto the glass. So these pictures are going to sit behind the glass. Once we know the area, then you just go through the process, the same process as the first one, where we're going to add light layer after light layer of the silver paint. Put some water in between, but you don't want to cover the areas where the pictures are going to show through. Eventually, your paint is fully opaque everywhere except for where the picture is. The initial coat of looking glass paint that covered the entire glass will actually provide just enough reflection that even with the picture behind it, at certain angles, you're getting a very good reflection. Now, these dollar store frames are pretty ugly, so let's make them look a little bit more interesting. We've got these little glass skulls. We're going to just cut the faces off. Or rather, cut the backs off and keep the faces. Just with some hot glue, we'll glue them into the corners here. Make it a little more interesting. And to add even more texture, I'm just going to use my hot glue gun and just draw designs along the long flat shape. We're going to completely cover this with paint, so we just want a little bit of dimension with the hot glue. Start with a base of black paint. And then I'm going to dry brush on some kind of white. This one happens to be oyster white. This makes the high points of the surface pop out. Now we're going to do a wash of some burnt umber. This has got a lot of water added into it, and we're just going to randomly and messily spread it around. The other dollar store frame has a wood texture, so I skipped the white dry brush and instead just went right to the burnt umber wash. If you get too much on there, just wipe it off. And then the next color we're using is this sea mist. It's basically the color of like the Statue of Liberty or copper patina. And I'm just putting this on real messy and dabbing it off. I'm not wiping or scrubbing. This adds a look of old dead wood or of funguses or just general patina. It's really nice. In fact, I decided to go back and add it to the first frame too. It really adds to making it look old. Now we just do the assembly like before. We put the glass in, making sure that it's oriented the correct way if there's an upside. We find the transparent area and make sure that our picture is lined up with that. Put the back on. There we go. You can see that it's a mirror, but you can still see the creepy face in it. These make excellent Halloween decorations. So let's take a look at our final product. Whether you're making just a regular mirror, a black mirror, or a creepy mirror with a hidden image in it, this is a really fun project. And the painting of the frames only took me about 4 minutes to do both of those frames. Spraying the glass takes a little bit longer, but it's really easy and fun. This is a project anyone can do. I really enjoyed making these, and I enjoyed talking about mirrors on my podcast. If you like this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up. That lets YouTube know that other people might like it too. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more content like this in the future. Until next time, though, don't be bored, be creative.